Yeah, like Wendy Torrance in Shining. Apparently, she was genuinely really scared. And you
Yeah,
can really tell, like that whole scene where she's in the bathroom and he's like axing through the door. It's really
yeah.
unsettling. It's hard to watch.
So there you go. Hey, Asher. Is it Ash? Asher? Ash? What do you like to be called?
Oh, that's a good question. When I was a kid, I hated Asher. I just wanted a normal name. But now I love it. Now I've kind of gone into it, so I kind of like Asher, I guess. But I don't know. Everyone calls me Ash, so whichever. All
So
good.
Asher was like your real full name, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it would have been just like a nickname.
No, no, no. People, yeah, and it's funny when I was a kid, like I used to just tell people my name was Ashley because I just wanted to fit in and just wanted to sort of be like everybody else. But now I'm like, no, fuck that. Like, I want to. Am I allowed to swear?
Mm. I don't give a shit.
Okay, should have maybe checked with that. Yeah, no, now I'm like fully embrace the quirky name. But yeah, because
Yeah.
Asha spelt with an A is the girl way, and Asha spelt my way, ER, is the boy way. But again, I like it. It's unique.
Okay, because I thought so when we first met though, like through social media, I thought it was like like a short for like Ash, like Ashley or something, and you just like being called like Asher, like Asha or something like that.
Yeah. So no, no, Asha is my proper name.
Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Well, thank you for coming on uh to this
You're welcome.
podcast and that. Really appreciate you. And we've known each other for what, a couple of months now. It's crazy.
Yeah, maybe 6 months. I don't know.
Really?
I don't
6?
know. I can't count.
Because this whole year's actually gone quick.
Yeah, it's probably about six. I don't know. Maybe I don't
Shit,
know.
that's crazy. I think I might have to like check through the messages and see where where it started. But like, how you
There's a lot
been?
of
What's
horror film chat. Like you're gonna be
yeah, a
scrolling through
lot.
like reams of
Yeah, yeah. Give me a week to
dumb
find out.
film knowledge.
So yeah, how you been and what's been happening with you lately? Because it seems like you've been a busy person at the moment.
Right, you know what? I had a really busy period, and then now feel well, I don't know. I feel like I've sort of maybe had a little bit of calm, like I have a calm period coming maybe um until mid-August, and then it all goes crazy again.
Yeah,
Um Yeah, because so my kids are off school now. Well, for yeah, soon. For 6 weeks, and I've tried to sort of take on less work and stuff over the summer holidays. But the last 2 or 3 weeks in August, I have quite a lot of stuff going on. A few film things. My kids are on a filmmaking course, which would be cool. Like they're
oh,
gonna try
nice.
and learn the ropes. Yeah, because so I have three girls, and my eldest recently like got into like I brought her along to a set and she
Yeah,
loved it. She like absolutely like she was in multiple roles and she played like a prisoner who got a prisoner who murdered someone and then got murdered, and then she played like a guard who got her head popped by like a monster, and so she like absolutely loved it. And so her sisters were like favorite child, kind of the usual. So I was like, right, okay.
yeah.
So I booked them two on like a filmmaking course so they can, I don't know, have the same kind of experience. Although there's no way that their filmmaking course is going to be as cool as what their sister did, but we won't tell
Yeah.
them that.
Yeah. Oh, who cares then? They're actually getting involved now. They want to learn how to do it. And, when they're old
Yeah.
enough, then, they might want to follow your footsteps,
Hmm. Yeah. Yep, yep,
which is
yep,
good.
exactly. Hmm.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been up
So,
to?
work. Working a lot. Friggin'. Yeah. I think I've told you, like, yeah, I did like 40 hours and then I'm
Elton John
working 30.
impersonating work?
Yeah. And then 38 hours this week. And then it's got to cut back like the week after. It's just like, it's too much. It's
Hmm.
crazy. Um, Not much. It's like work doing this, which is like it's actually been pretty. This podcast is actually doing really well.
Mhm.
Um, I know, like I've said this to some of my guests on here that I know it's not much, but I'm 108 subscribers now, so
Nice.
it's
How
it's
did it go
it's.
with Dean? Dean of the Dead. I've not listened to
Oh,
the
he was
episode yet.
awesome. He was awesome. Um, because I always play back before I download and then do a little bit of editing because I use
Mhm.
CapCut for
Yeah,
edit, and they actually cut out like all like the hums and shit out. And
yeah,
I for some reason my microphone was low, and I don't know why. And so I just edited it through CapCut and just like cranked my audio up on my end high. But no, it was really good. He's such a like cool dude.
he
Such a cool
is. He's
dude.
cool. Yeah. Yeah, he's a laugh. I'm seeing him at the end of August. We're doing like a festival together where the film's being premiered, so that'd be good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, should be good. He's a great guy. Him and his girlfriend Laura are just such a horror power couple. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, just super cool.
Well, it was really cool because like I had him on, then he had his makeup effects artist that did the Go to Hell short film.
Oh, okay,
Um,
Kate,
no, it was another guy.
Jay.
Ah, I think it was Jay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe they had two then, because Kate, I think Kate was on it when I was there.
yeah, and I think yeah, Jay might have done a little bit of it as
Mhm.
well. That he popped on as well, but it was so funny. It was kind of like watching him in survivor mode in like in a zombie apocalypse because like he was out on the streets walking home from work in the middle of the night doing his podcast with me and Dean. So he's like holding his camera like this the whole time for like a good 45 minutes. First thing I
Oh,
said to him was like, dude, I'm very concerned about your safety right now, bro. Make sure you get home safe.
yeah. But it depends. I guess in the UK, it depends where you live. I feel like sometimes the UK has a bad rep for like getting mugged all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I got mugged at knife point when I was 12, so like
Oh
I'm maybe
shit.
not. I know, like I'm maybe not the poster child for like UK's really safe, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And now I live in like super safe still. Like my kids just wander around all the time, and I don't know. Touch wood.
You don't feel
Touch
worried
wood.
about that or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Well, I am a extremely anxious person, but I feel like my area is pretty safe.
Yeah, it's a good. That's good. But yeah, Dean's a cool dude. To be honest, I would love to go to the UK just to go out and hang with him and shit because I
Yeah.
reckon it'll be like a little bit more safer to travel to the UK than it is what it is in America right now.
Oh yeah, fuck America. Yeah, no, that's not a thing. But Australia is pretty safe, right?
Yeah.
Just tell me whatever I want to hear. Like, just
I
yeah,
guess
okay,
like
cool.
that
Moving on.
the animals are friendly.
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, I have loads of relatives in Canberra. Is that a thing? Is that a place? Canberra.
Canberra,
Yeah,
yes, it's a state. Yeah,
Canberra. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've got loads of are they there? Oh my God. They were whatever. They're not gonna listen to this. They but yeah, like I should go and visit them, but I'm just genuinely terrified of anything
it's
crawly.
really cold during winter time. It's really cold down there.
Hmm.
I think around
Winter
about three or
time in
four
Australia
degrees.
is flipped, right? Like your winter time is now. Is that right?
Yes, yes,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
That's very confusing.
I know 'cause I'm from the future, so there you go.
Are you actually no, but like you're ahead of us, right? In terms of time
Yeah,
and nothing else.
yeah,
Okay.
yes, because
Okay.
it's Thursday now and it's 8:17 p.m. So it's like Wednesday for you, Thursday morning for you, correct?
Thursday morning. This was the confusion because I said Wednesday at whatever at my time, and you were like, yeah, that's Thursday for me. But it wasn't. It was today. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's difficult. It's harder when they're like in Europe
Hmm.
or like in America because in the States there's like 20 different time zones.
Yes, that's true.
There's
Yeah.
like so many time zones, and like I think not all of them are daylight savings as well, aren't they? In the States or whatever
I'm
it
the
is.
worst
But
person to ask
sometimes
anything.
sometimes when we're not in daylight savings, I'm pretty sure they're on daylight savings or something like that. But like
Hmm.
it's yeah, it's fucking hard. And that's why I don't do interviews at friggin' 3 o'clock in the morning anymore.
Yeah. Especially you've been working all day. Like, yeah, you need a break.
Well, with the last podcast that I was doing for a couple of years as a co-host, because he was from Arizona, he would do 12 o'clock noon, which would be either 2 or 3 a.m. for me.
Okay, was the podcast any good? I feel like if I was doing interviews and podcasts at 3 a.m., I'd
Oh,
just be
I I tell look, I fucking met a lot of cool people just for being like I was a guest, and then his co-host left, and I became a co-host for a good
okay.
couple of years. But it was just so good just to sit there and just listen to stories.
Nice. Yeah,
You know, like
sounds
I
good.
even met one of my favorite guests though was a guy named Eric Dover. He played for Alice Cooper for a couple of years, and he played on one of my favorite Alice Cooper albums. And we
Mhm.
had him on the podcast, and I was just like chilling, chilling, chilling. And I'm like, oh, by the way, Eric, I know a couple of songs from like the Eyes of Alice Cooper album, man. Like, thank you for like writing good riffs. And he goes, dude, if I ever come down to Australia, let's jam sometime. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that'd be cool. Nice.
Yeah,
Because
just that and
your
just
Ghouls Gone Wild is an Alice Cooper song, right?
yes, it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Because when I first saw it, I was like, that rings a bell. Because obviously it's a riff
yeah,
on Girls Gone Wild, right? But then I was like, yeah. Then I googled it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, right. That's where I know it
yeah,
from.
yeah. That so I stole the track name so I can try and get him on here, but I think it's not working. But like I got his daughter on, but that's different.
You're circling in the net on him. Like if you got his child and his bassist or whatever it was, that guy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can
I
you can
know.
snare him in.
The good thing about these doing this as well and going out on my own and doing this by myself, and I said this to Dean when we finished off air. It's just like um it's a great way to meet new people, and like you
Hmm.
kind of just like chill and like have like you'll ask questions about some norm shit that they sort of know, but then you also just like chill out and just like it's like hanging out with like your best friends and
Yeah.
just chatting. That's what I kind of feel like I wanted to do with this, because like I understand they get asked the same stupid shit all the time, and they
Hmm.
get annoyed, but it's part of their job. But that's why when I had
Hmm.
Megan on last night,
Hmm.
I told her at the end, just like, like we went through all the questions really quickly, but then I kind of just went freestyle on you. She goes, "Oh, that's fine because like I hate all the same stupid shit all the time." I'm like, I don't blame you.
That's so interesting. So yeah, I feel like I get asked similar questions all the time. But my like social anxiety and just ridiculousness means that I just like fluff the answers so bad. And when I listen back, I'm like, why did you say that? Like, so with
Mm.
this one, when we finally sorted out the date and actually got the time zones right, that's why I was like, right, ask me these things and I'm gonna actually think about what I'm gonna say rather than just sort of just like blurt out
Well,
any old crap.
which is funny because I picked out some questions that you gave to me and I cutting it down. So I picked out the most important ones to ask. But like I just
I
like
did
to do
send you a
this.
lot. I over
Yeah.
prepared.
But like I just like to act like just to make it like just like a hangout session for us, you know what I mean? And for
Yeah.
anyone else that comes on. That's what like when I had Jacqueline on that did the Are
Mhm.
You There short film. um
Okay.
she was saying that like she has social anxiety, and then like when she when I invited her for her to come on, she was like, oh fuck man, do I really want to do this? But then we just clicked off like that, and she felt like really comfortable, like
Yeah.
just just chatting, because like it kind of feels like we've known each other for a long time now, which is pretty cool. So that's how you build like these cool friendships with these people like around the world, and you build like this special
Mhm.
bond. And you never know in a couple of years' time that we might run into each other.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think making everything low stress in life in general is always the way to go. But yeah, you don't want to listen to a podcast where the person is like stuttering and nervous and like sweat all over their face. And I think just a casual hangout is cool.
Yeah. Well, let's get into these questions now because we've just spent like 15 minutes of ranting on bullshit, which is fine by me. But like, how did you get into the whole horror photography and live music scene thing? Like, what got you into that?
Sure. A live music scene was where I did that for many years before getting into horror. Live music stuff, I was just always at gigs anyway, and I was a photographer, and so I just sort of shoot my friends' bands as sort of like, oh well, I'm here and I can just bring my camera. Um, and then before I knew it, I was just it just became so easy because I was always in the same venues. I like learned the lighting rig setup kind of thing. So I knew like, okay, it's about to turn red. Like I know that, I knew all the angles. And then yeah, so I just sort of thought maybe I should try and expand this into more of a sort of paid gig. And so then I just started working for a few companies for like bigger venues and festivals and stuff. Um, and yeah, so that just sort of, and then yeah, I sort of joined like a little group of other like all the sort of live music rock photographers were all in like a little group together, and we just cover like all, well, we try and in theory cover all the gigs in so in Hong Kong. This was I've just moved back to the UK recently. But yeah, so that was sort of how I got into
Yeah.
live music photography. And then horror, I've just always been a massive horror fan, from like watching movies way too young. I was just always like fascinated by like I'd always like go to Blockbuster on every Friday night. Me and my family would go to Blockbuster, and me and my brother like alternated weeks of
Yeah.
when like it was my turn to pick, and then it was his. And every other Friday, he would always pick um Howard the Duck was like his top go-to for like I don't know several months. So I would go to Blockbuster every Friday, well every other Friday, knowing that it was his choice, and
Yeah.
like lo and behold, Howard the Duck again. So I would just go to the horror section and just like stare at all the like the covers used to be so amazing, like with all the kind of crazy artwork. And I feel like covers nowadays are just nothing compared to what they used to be. Like, all those sort of 80s kind of, oh my God, I love them. So I would just stare at those every Friday. And then obviously, yeah, I started getting into horror and like watching it. Um I think maybe Exorcist might have been one of my early ones that I watched when I was way too young. And it just left like a profound effect. And then Scream came out. I remember when Scream Mania was like crazy. So yes, I've just always been a
Yeah.
bit of a horror buff anyway. And then yeah, this year when I moved back to the UK, I just sort of decided that I would kind of pivot and go into like film and TV stuff. I do other stuff that's not horror,
Yeah.
but horror is like where my heart is, kind of thing.
Your jam.
It is
Yeah.
my jam.
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
just like looking for my. Sorry, I was just like at the point of like looking for my charger because like I keep forgetting to like charge my fucking laptop and that, but I'm still listening, which is all good. But I can edit this out anyway. But
Sure.
no, but like see with like horror though, like it once you watch something, it's stuck in your fucking brain forever. Like it's crazy. Like it's there
Yeah.
with you for
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, I think particularly when you're young and you see things for like the first time, it's yeah,
Yeah,
it definitely like I remember being like so like certain things that I saw in The Exorcist like are like emblazoned in my mind. Like, the scene where the priest's mum is like walking down the steps of like it's like a dream sequence of it. His mum is like walking down the steps to a subway, and then the demon face flashes up for like a split second. Oh,
yeah,
it just absolutely like I remember like being completely breathless and like, what the fuck was that that just flashed up? Like, did I imagine it? And oh, just so scary. And I think that scene is completely silent as well. So it's
yeah.
just, yeah, it's masterful filmmaking.
Yeah. So with the music photographer photographing thing, have you like traveled around the world doing those like taking photos of like gigs? as well?
Never
Or yeah,
toured with a band.
yeah,
That was on my sort of completion list. But I never got around to that. I have I mean I've shot in various countries when I was sort of there, mostly Hong Kong and
yeah.
here. And New York as well. Um, but yeah, like I wouldn't say no to touring with the band maybe in future, but I don't know. I don't know if maybe I'm a bit I don't know. Maybe a bit too old for the touring life. I don't know. But I'd never say never, I guess. It'd have to be the right band. Like they'd have to be pretty chill and I'd have to get on really well with them to shoot the same band over and over again. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's like that'd be like a dream come true to like just to, like do
Mhm.
like a little short run tour and just like take photos of like the gigs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
really, I think that would be cool. Yeah, like have like a favorite gig that you've done.
Yes. So my favorite ever live music gig that I did was shooting a festival called NA Fest, NA Fest in Hong Kong. Basically, we in Hong Kong during COVID had like a total live music ban. I mean, I'm sure that was probably the case for many places, but in Hong Kong, it was like people were absolutely starved for live music and well, I suppose just interaction and entertainment. But like all of my friends who were like into live music, we were just desperate for it. And I remember like yeah, me and my sister we went to Thailand where Thailand was kind of had opened up again and I was just like
Mm,
so hungry for live music that I was just like bouncing from all these gigs. Um but yeah, so Hong Kong was still very much kind of locked down in terms of live music, but they finally lifted this ban and then they had this festival um that was at like a university campus and the
yeah,
energy was just like unlike anything I've ever experienced. It was like and they had all these really top bands in Hong Kong as well. And there was the stage, and then there was these like buildings on either side, and there were people just like all over all these buildings. There was all these like crowd surfers, like everybody was crowd surfing, and like just yeah, I absolutely adored it, and I could sort of get behind the stage as well, so I got all these amazing shots of like the singer and the band like from behind with all the audience and the audience like because they've been so starved of like live music for so long it was like a zombie
yeah.
movie. They were like so kind of crazy. And so that was I think like certainly one of those shots was like my favorite shot of all time and it was featured in Tatler as well.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, like that was my like sort of stand. And I have loads of like really cool shots of like people crowd surfing and oh it was just yeah, it was amazing. Just yeah, best live gig that I've ever experienced. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you're in the two of the best worlds right now. You got like the horror, and you got the music, which they blend in
Mhm.
so well, especially for
Yeah.
for like heavier music. Like
Yeah.
for some
Yeah.
reason, it's like heavy, like the really heavy, like either thrash, death, or even like 80s hard rock metal
hmm
always fits into that horror genre, which is
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
awesome. I
Yeah.
used to
I think
like
there's a
stay
lot
up.
of overlap.
Oh yeah, I used to
Mhm.
stay up to like maybe 1 o'clock watching just like random kill counts of like movies that I wouldn't watch, but I'll just watch the kill counts just for the hell of it. But you always
Why do
just
you even
hear
watch
just
that?
I
How do
do
you
not
find that?
know. I just go on YouTube.
Oh my God.
And
So
that like
funny.
this is when I was like in my 20s. I didn't do them now. Like, come on, man. I watch the fucking full thing.
I was gonna say I
Um,
was slightly judging. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, "Mate,
but like
how old are you?
that
12?"
no. If I
No.
shave my beard. um yeah, but like every time like I watch like a random kill count or some shit, there's always just death metal playing and it just fits in so well. What do you think that
Yeah.
like what do you think like the heavier music and horror movies stick well together? There is a documentary about that too.
What's there? What's it called?
I think it's called Metal and Monsters. I think it's called, and they
Oh,
interviewed all these legendary hard rock and heavy metal artists that are obsessed with the metal and horror genres, and they'll talk about it.
Okay,
And I had
interesting.
like Corey, yeah, they had like Corey Taylor, Tobias Forge from Ghost was on there, Ace Von Johnson, and have you heard of a band called Goa?
Gua? How do you spell that?
Is it
G.
G-A, I think it's Gwar.
No. No,
They're
no,
really
no.
cool. Like their stage shows are like crazy. Like at the end of the show, you'd be covered in blood. But
Yeah,
no, it's
I guess like they're both quite they have often they both have quite dark themes. Like
yeah,
a lot of sort of rock and metal music. Yeah, it's not sort of talking about skipping through the fields of, tulips or whatever. Like it's often quite dark themes, which same for horror. I guess the energy of like metal music sort of I don't know, I feel like it could go well with like any movie, but I do think it tends to marry the best with horror. But maybe that's
yeah,
just my preference. But I also think there's a lot of overlap with the fans as well. Most people who are like into like deep horror are kind of like, well, I don't know. Maybe that's a massive generalization, but I do think they
yeah,
go well together.
yeah. I every metalhead that I've met, like at a metal gig over the years, they always seem to be into horror. I am
Yeah.
not joking because it's so true. It's like the horror community and the metal community are very, very similar. How all the horror nerds are
Hmm.
one big thing, and they can like maybe have like a group chat or have like a group
Hmm.
page like on Facebook or whatever, and then discuss
Hmm.
about their favorite horror films. And
Yeah.
the same with metalheads. They'll be
Hmm.
like maybe like a big group of people on Instagram or on Facebook that will do the same thing, but not
Hmm.
everyone likes those bands that they like. But with the horror genre, it's fucking massive. Like there's it's very underground. Um,
Hmm.
if you're looking for like I guess like groups and stuff like that, but like it's
Hmm.
like a big community. Everybody can like all just get along really well and talk about our
Hmm.
favorite and least favorite and the most shittiest movies we've seen.
I love the shitty movies though. Like I feel like there's something so great about B movies or like low budget kind of indie horror. Like they're just
Yeah,
such a fun watch when they like lean into that and they're not trying to be like a Hollywood movie. They're leaning into the sort of low budget. I absolutely love that so much. Um and I've loved the fact that like social media and stuff and like mean that those movies are so much more accessible now because I remember finding some movies like that when I was younger and just loving them. Like I don't know if you would class this as one, but do you remember the movie Brain Dead? Um
I've heard of the name.
Yeah, that I think that I mean, obviously compared to what I'm in, that's like high budget, but to me, Brain Dead seemed very low budget, and yeah, I loved it. I mean, it's quite gross, like quite kind of. I remember there's one scene where like somebody's ear falls in porridge and then their ear, I don't know, some like weird kind of shit like that. But I don't know. Yeah, I've always just loved kind of B movies and I just feel like watching them with friends it's just so fun and they just don't take themselves very seriously. And I think that's like the perfect movie night kind of thing to watch with a group of goofy mates. And me and
I
my
watch them.
daughter, gone
I I was gonna say like I watch them on my work on my lunch break at work, just to kill time.
like B movies
Yeah,
or just
and
any movie.
sometimes I'll like flick on like A House of a Thousand Corpse or something like that because I just love that opening scene.
I need to rewatch them.
The gas
That's Rob Zombie,
station,
right?
yeah, his first film,
Yeah.
the one that everybody hate, and now it's like 20 years old, and now everybody
Do people
loves it.
hate that? That's the Captain
Yeah,
Spaulding one, right?
yeah.
My perception is that people didn't hate that. I don't know. Maybe.
No, when it first
Maybe.
came out, it was called trash, and then like 20 years
Um,
later, people were saying how like, or 15 years later, people will be like dressing up as like the characters and say how iconic it was. And I'm like,
yeah.
why now? Why didn't you do this when it first came out? That's what I don't
Hmm.
understand. You know what I mean? It's the same with all of his other
Yeah, yeah.
movies. So.
Yeah, I think things become a cult classic
Mm,
eventually. Like, they, I guess they either disappear into nothingness or become a cult classic. And it's very easy for horror to become kind of a classic as well.
yeah,
Um, Yeah, I don't know. I remember watching it and The Devil's Rejects. Is that the second one?
The sequel, yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
That one's like that movie, and I think me and Dean talked about this on the podcast as well. That
Hmm.
we both loved it because it was just like nasty, dirty, scummy, but funny at the same time.
Hmm.
Horror film, but
I I
I just like the way how Rob Zombie shoots his movies though. Like it's like very
mhm.
1970ish, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mind them. Um, in terms of like horror subgenres and stuff, one
Yeah,
one particular genre that like just I just don't like it at all. It just really like makes me deeply uncomfortable is like, I mean, this is very, very niche, but is the sort of hillbilly thing, you know, like Hills Have Eyes, or
yeah,
have you seen that X-Files episode called Home about like a
no.
hillbilly family that like are like deeply inbred and like, oh, it's just so disturbing. They're the kind of movies that I just avoid because they just make me so uncomfortable. I just don't want anything to do with with that.
I think you just came up with a new subgenre like hillbilly horror.
Hillbilly horror. But that's kind of what like Devil's Rejects has elements of that, right?
That and Free from Hell as well.
Okay. What's that? Is that the third one? I don't think I've seen that
Yeah,
one.
so Three from Hell was a, I guess, a long-waited sequel to two because, like,
Okay.
spoiler alert for anyone that has or hasn't seen two, Devil's Rejects, tough shit. I'm sorry, but at the end when they escaped in the car, um, they get shot multiple times by police, and then it stops,
Hmm.
but the music, the soundtrack to that scene was Lynyrd Skinner's "Freebird."
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I love that song so much. I
What a
used to play it
great
on
song!
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, fucking great song. But like, and then people will be like, "Will there be a third one?" Obviously Sid Haig and Bill Moseley said no because we're dead. But then obviously Rob Zombie came up with a script. And then apparently, I think it was one of Sid Haig's last appearance before he passed away because he was actually
Mhm.
really, really sick during that movie.
Oh, really?
So they killed his character off, and then I think he went back to hospital or something like that. So Rob Zombie, from what this is what I've read, that Rob, being the genius that he is, he actually rewrited the script in like 24 hours or so.
Oh, wow.
How? And it was actually just looking for an
ChatGPT?
actor. I don't know, but like, obviously, it would have been off tour. But like, I think he was looking for somebody that can replace Sid's role because he was going to be like the main character of that movie. But obviously, he was very sick. They had to kill him off, so he found somebody else that he never really worked with, and
Hmm.
then used him as a main role, and people loved him.
Hmm. I mean, there's
So
always ways that you can kind of get around that kind of thing. Like, if you just do like focus on a side character or a prequel with different younger actors who look kind of the same. I guess there's ways around it if you want to carry on the story kind of thing.
yeah, but like whatever Rob Zombie does, I support it. Like, there's maybe one film that I didn't quite like, but the more I watch it, the more I love it more.
Is it the
I'm not
Halloween
one.
remake?
No, fuck, that's my favorite one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my favorite one, man. I don't. I said this to most of my guests, like Dean, Jacqueline, and stuff like that. I told them, like, look, Rob Zombie's Halloween is a full blown slasher. I didn't give a shit, and it's a great fucking remake. But like the original, dead set psychological. You can't call it a freaking
Mhm.
slasher classic. It's a full on psychological. I kind of felt like all like early horror movies before they were sort of called the
Mhm.
slashers and shit like that. They're all psychological.
Yeah, Mike Myers is the OG slasher man.
Well,
I
he
just
he
like
went crazy
any.
at number two though. Number two, that's when he became the slasher king. But like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like Friday the 13th one and Halloween one and maybe you could say maybe Nightmare on Elm Street was a little bit of like a psychological.
yeah. I feel like Nightmare on Elm Street is different. Like When you
Yeah,
add in
but
that sort of fantasy element, it does, yeah, feels different.
yeah, because I feel
Yeah.
like if you put like Halloween, the first Halloween and the first Friday the 13th is more of a like a mind fuck of a movie. That's how I kind of see it.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see the similarities between those two, Jason and Michael Myers. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of always annoys me when they chuck Freddy in with that. I feel like the three of them are not the same kind of thing. I
Mm,
don't know. Just because
yeah,
Freddy's like deaths and stuff, the fact that he can just add any element of craziness he wants, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, just makes it so much more sort of interesting. I don't know.
Well, they did the whole Freddy vs. Jason thing, which I like, but what really pissed me
Yeah.
off the most, like Kane Hodder didn't get the spot because he got screwed over. So there you go.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, he did. So get this right. So at the end, have you seen Jason Goes to Hell?
Is that no? I was going to say, is that the one in space? That must be no. That's called
No,
something like
Jason X. That's another good
that's
one
Jason
too.
X.
Yeah,
Jason Goes to Hell. I don't know. Remind me
that was
briefly
the
what.
one. So they kill like so at the beginning they blow him up and then they do like this autopsy. Then like the evil spirit comes out and it goes into different people's bodies. And so
happened.
all the people that get like the demon from Jason into them, they play Jason and he goes around and kills people and stuff.
Oh, I've not seen that. I would have remembered that. That sounds quite good, actually. So where in the sequencing is that?
Yeah. And spoiler alert, or what of that scene
No, like sorry,
of that part of the
there's a
movie.
pigeon trying to get in my house. It's very distracting. Weird. Um, like where in the isn't that like that's like a horror movie thing, right? When birds fly at your window, isn't it a sign that like your house is like contaminated with an evil spirit or something? Maybe. I don't know. It
Oh
probably is.
shit.
Um,
Yeah.
you're like, where in the sequencing is Jason Goes to Hell? Like, has he been in space at this point? Like, how are they squaring all this stuff? Or should I just not worry about it?
Oh, so Jason X was after Jason Goes to Hell.
Right. Okay. So is he fully dead at this point?
Yeah,
Is the Jason
because
in
at the
space? Is the Jason who goes to
hey,
space
well,
and one of
Jason in
those people is
space.
infected?
Yes. So in Jason Goes to Hell, like where I was explaining to you, his evil spirits goes into other people, and then he does his job, and then I think from what I haven't seen this in a very long time, but from what I remember, the person that had the Jason evil spirit went back to his grave. Then the evil spirit came out, went down to the grave, brought back Jason out from his grave, and
Right.
then start killing him. But at the end, when he was actually officially dead, and you just see his mask, the Freddy Krueger glove came up and took the mask. That was supposed
So
to
that.
be that opened up for Freddy vs. Jason,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
because that got pushed back for a little bit, and
Hmm.
then and Kane Hodder was the one that was doing the Freddy glove underneath the ground that grabbed the mask, and it was
Mm-hmm.
sort of like the same replica glove that Freddy, like what Robert England used from the Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street,
Hmm.
and this is what I've heard from interviews that so while he was waiting for the green light for Freddy vs. Jason, they went to do Jason X.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think a year or so after that, I think it was New Line Cinemas rang up Kane saying, "We're going to do the movie." And he said he was very excited because he was pretty sure he was going to get the job. So they gave him the script to the movie and said that you're not playing Jason.
Ooh. He was in it though, but not as Jason.
Uh, it was the stuntman from Jason 8.
Who played Jason?
Yeah, it just for one scene in I think it was, yeah, Friday 8. And
Okay.
Jason
Wow.
takes over Manhattan. Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
they used him to play Jason in Freddy vs. Jason instead of Kane Hodder.
Oh. Why did they even give him the script to dangle it in front of him? That just seems
I don't.
cruel.
I Yeah, he was pretty pissed off about that. And
Mm.
I think the only reason why, and this is what I've heard from other interviews, that I think the only reason why they got somebody else is that they wanted someone a little bit taller.
Wow. Sure. Okay. You had a Jason on the pod, right?
Yeah, Ari Lehman. Yeah, he was quite funny, but he was also he smoked weed before he came on.
Oh, okay. He's Jason. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, well, the boy from the lake.
That's even cooler. That's
I know.
super cool.
That's why I said to most of my friends, like, I don't care. I know it's not the actual Jason, but it's like the OG, the
Yeah,
first
he's the
one,
real. Yeah.
the guy that had like maybe 3 or 4 scenes in a movie. Like to me, that's still big. I don't care what anyone
Yeah.
says.
Well,
So
he was the Jason in the movie because
yeah,
spoiler, it's actually his mum. So like, he is the Jason of that movie.
yeah.
He's just
So
not
he's
the one in the hockey mask.
no, or the sack head Jason
Uh, but
in the
he,
second one.
I don't know. I
What?
must have seen the second one. Don't know. I feel like I
I
watched
yeah,
all the all the kind of 80s slasher stuff. I watched in like a giant binge over like one summer, and they've all just kind of blended into one. And I'm always sort of having to ask people like, okay, so like which one is that one? And like I remember like little tiny key bits of each, or like maybe one scene of each, and then that's the only way I can differentiate between them. I need to
yeah.
rewatch.
Yeah, I watched all 12 of them in 1 week before I had him on.
You could have just watched the boat scene from one.
Yeah, but no, but then I wanted to ask him other questions about that movie, and like he was
Um,
telling me some really cool shit, like that ending scene that was never meant to
the boat
happen.
bit, the way he pulls the
Yeah,
girl in the boat, that was never meant to happen. That's the best bit of the film.
yeah, because that they okay, so the ending of that movie is when she was in the boat and the camera was fading
Mhm.
away, and then I think Paramount Pictures at the time, that was the movie company, I think it was. They said we want a proper ending. So this is what Ari told me, but then Ari was like, I brought weed to the set and gave it to the the directors and Tony Savani and
How
stuff.
old was he in this movie? He's a child, right?
Yeah, 12, 13, I think.
I guess he's an American child, so
Yeah, yeah,
it's
exactly. Um, and then yeah, he brought weed to the set. They're all smoking weed, and then yeah, they came up with this scene, and then Ari's like, yeah, okay, but then when do you want me to say action? How am I
mm,
supposed to know when you got to say action? Because I'm underwater. And then they're like, oh, just go up. As soon as you see bubbles, just jump out. We're filming right now. So obviously the girl was waiting to hear action so she can get into character. But obviously she was unaware, and then the bubbles came up, and then he just popped out from the water into the boat, and you could tell by the look on her face was actually real shock. She wasn't
yeah,
prepared for that, so they kept that in the film.
yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing. I guess when you get like a real authentic reaction from the actors that's really genuine terror, it makes it so much scarier. Like Wendy Torrance in Shining, apparently she was genuinely really scared. And you
Yeah,
can really tell, like that whole scene where she's in the bathroom and he's like axing through the door. It's really
yeah,
unsettling. It's hard to watch. Yeah, and then also in The Exorcist, there's a scene where I can't remember whether it's the mum or Regan is like being like she's in some like harness and being like thrown around, but it
yeah.
was really, really actually hurting her. And I think she got some like pretty bad spinal damage. But obviously the cries and stuff was so authentic. I mean, literally authentic. So they kept it in the movie because hey, you might as well if you got the footage.
It just
um
makes it look more real, even though it was
It-
real.
yeah, it truly is real. So yeah, not that
Yeah.
I'm advocating that is how filmmakers should carry on, but if you've got the footage, you might as well use it.
Yeah, exactly right. And when you go back and watch the film, there is a reason
Mhm.
why you kept it in there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's like when I asked Megan on the podcast yesterday when I had her on. I asked her, I'm like, you know, I'm just like very curious, but like, how do you actually cry for a scene? Like,
Mhm.
how does that work? And she said there's some like special tricks to do it, but sometimes there are people that are very emotional, like that can
Mhm.
actually do it on a scene or
Mhm.
something like that, or some other people have to like do some other.
Eye drops, like
Yeah,
yeah, is a thing.
it's that, and I think she said it was like some type of stick or something like that,
Oh, wow.
or something.
So
But
some actors that I've worked with, when they want to up the intensity, have just pulled out like a little vial of, oh no, it was vapor rub. Yeah, no, one time
yeah, I
I've
think
had
it was
eye
that.
drops, vapor rub, yeah. That kind of
Yeah.
stings your eyes and it makes you look all kind of, yeah.
Well, sometimes
It
they
does work.
CGI it,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
which is
the amount of takes you have to do sometimes, like if you had to authentically cry over and over and over again, you'd be wiped out.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
You'll be like, what is wrong with this person now? I
no,
just
no.
yeah, I've just thought it was just quite interesting, that's all, because like I don't know how I really don't know how like they pull that off in like in a movie set. But then she said like some people can might have like a bit of a dark past. Like if they read a script or something and it's something that's probably reflect on them in real life, they feel emotion about it.
I mean, honestly, some people can just smash it out of the bag. I was working on a film called Cut and Run, like a short comedy horror, and the main actor called Niall um, did this scene where he has to like berate himself and like call himself stupid and like hit himself and then sort of
Yeah.
fall to the floor. And I was watching it and I literally had tears in my eyes. Like I was like really deeply affected. I can even feel it now. I was like so deeply affected by it. I was like, like really moving. And then they're like, cut. And he just was like, oh. And I was like, "Oh, are you okay? And like, let me hug you. And he's like, be fine. Like, I'm
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
But I
This is
was
what I
like
get paid to do.
so, yeah, I was like so deeply moved by it. And oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, some people are just genuinely really good actors, I guess, which is what you want on a film.
Yeah, it's true. So like you've worked in a lot of like horror, like indie horror films and stuff like that. You
Mhm.
done like short films and full length films, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, I've done three feature length films now, and I think seven other short horrors, and then a few other bits and bobs of TV and non-horror stuff. But yeah, horror is definitely my jam.
Yeah. Like what's that like? Like what's that like doing that like on set? Like what's the day in the life like workflow in the um movie
Ooh,
scene behind
so
the scenes?
it really depends on the company. Some of them are so chill and sort of relaxed, and others are the opposite. So it just really depends. And I think as I've gone on and learned more about the industry and made more connections and stuff, I've become more sort of choosy about what projects I take on. Learned to notice the red flags, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now I have like a bunch of good people that I sort of like that rebook me as well. So that's really good. But yeah, okay, so a day in the life of a horror film photographer. So normally you get to set. There's a lot of waiting around. There's usually makeup starts fairly quickly, and getting everyone into costume and stuff. I try and capture a bit of the makeup process and like special effects as that's happening. I So for me, for my job, there's three components of what I do on horror film sets. There's the behind the scenes photography. So just sort of capturing like stills from the movie, obviously, but also, people kind of stood around the person holding the light stand and like, the makeup artist getting ready, sort of doing all that sort of stuff. So that's one component of what I do. Another is that I do sort of social media videos that sort of show kind of like the making of. And I try and include lots of kind of, little funny, cute bits of like people kind of, just like all the little silly moments on set.
Mm.
And I don't know, like if someone comes in and like, you know, I don't know, does a little dance or like throws himself on the floor, or I try and capture all of that sort of stuff. And then I kind of mash all that together, always with a rock track. And I feel like that is what people most look forward to of that sort of process. And then I also do sort of character portraits on set.
Yeah.
So I do sort of, I'll try and talk to the actor, figure out what their character is like if I've not read the script, which I sometimes don't get around to doing. So I sort of ask them about what their character is like, how their character feels like they would be photographed, kind of thing. And then try and find a location nearby, as in like literally on set, like, I try not to just do it against a wall or whatever. I try and do it sort of I don't know, like I did one where there was the character was a girl who, she was like a murderous cannibal who kidnapped women to eat them. And so for her character portrait, there was like this like line of like twisted like vines. And so I
Yeah.
like was like, that's perfect for you because you're like you're quite a nasty lady. Um, so, so I mean, in her character as an acid lady, she was like the loveliest girl I've ever met in my life. But yeah, so me and her like went and did like character portraits where she did all, she was wearing like a leather jacket and she did all kinds of like mean girl poses, and yeah, so that was really cool. And yeah, so the sort of the three main components of what I do. So
Yeah.
I'm never bored on set. There's always things for me to do, and I sort of try
Yeah.
and I also try and just like help out and do a bit of like I don't know, maybe it's like my mom thing, but I always try and just kind of keep everyone on track, and like people like wandering off to go, and I'm just like, no, come on, like let's actually get this done. And yeah, so I do have some assistant director roles coming up, and I also have some producer stuff coming up. So that would be cool to kind of expand more into that sort of territory in future as well.
Yeah. Because I've seen like a couple of the stuff that you posted up on Instagram, like some of like
Mhm.
the behind the scenes, like the makeup effects, which they look pretty cool as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so what's
yeah. It's a
the
dream job,
is that like an
honestly.
is that like what? Sorry.
It's a dream job. I've always wanted to sort of be involved in this kind of world. So
I think that would have been anyone's dream job that had like the passion for what you do. But like that's
yeah.
more of like an all day thing too, isn't it? It's like you finish late at night, start early mornings.
Yeah, it's usually 12 plus hours. It totally depends. Some of the ones I've been doing recently have been, the call time has been 5 p.m. and the wrap time is 5 a.m. But
Yeah.
usually it's daytime. And you can do amazing things with light blocking and artificial light. So you can manipulate, you can sort of say, well, it needs to be pitch black at nighttime, but we're going to block out the windows. And, or like I did one where we needed like sunset, no, sunrise. So we blocked out the windows and had like artificial kind of so you can do that, but it just depends where you're shooting. Like some of my stuff recently has been, the reason why it was overnight was because it was in a warehouse, and then the top bit of the warehouse had like, well, not like a skylight, but it was like it was letting a lot of light in, and we can't exactly get up there and like block that out. So yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I reckon like doing like behind the scenes shots of like the Terrifying movies would be pretty damn awesome. Because I've watched like
Yeah.
behind the scenes. I love those movies. Like I love the first one now. At first I hated it, but then the more you watch it, the more you
Mhm.
love it. And
You
I
know my
love,
feelings on the Terrifier movies. I've never watched them, but
I
my
love
brother,
your brother
yeah,
seen it. Yeah,
my brother has watched them, and he was just like, as soon as he watched number two, he was like, please never watch, because he knows my limits, and my limits are quite weak, like I'm a little bit of a
yeah.
baby. So he was like, just promise me you will never watch this. Um, but it's funny, in the indie horror scene, Terrifier is like what they have managed to do, taken like a low budget. I can't remember what the budget was. I feel like I can't remember what the
Finish. It
budget
was
for one
low.
was. It was low. It was definitely a low budget. I want to say 50K, which is pretty low.
Yeah.
I might have just
Well,
completely pulled that up my ass, but like I
well,
think
well,
it was
Damien.
yeah.
Well, Damien. Oh, sorry. Like, well, Damien was saying that it was only. I think it was just him and two film crews and maybe a couple of
Mhm.
makeup artists, and that's it for
Uh-huh.
that movie.
Yeah, but then the fact that Terrifier 2 went on to become like a cult classic, and 3 was like had a cinema run and everything, and you just see like Art the Clown merch everywhere, and like
Yeah.
comic, well, maybe not comic cons, but like horror cons, like everyone wants to be him. And I think, yeah, is it you who has a tattoo of him? Someone I know
No, I
has.
want to get it. I want. So my next tattoo was either going to be Captain Spaulding or Art the Clown, but with the sunflower glasses.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, my
Yeah,
mum has those glasses, like, and she's had them for like 20 years. But I was like, do you know that they're
yeah.
actually now like a horror glasses? But yeah, so I mean, I feel like, you know, I expect that a lot of people in the indie horror scene see the success of terrifying movies and think, oh, now we can actually make this a success. Like it can be done, kind of thing.
Well, the second, the second one was sort of like a crowdfund
Hmm.
movie, but
Hmm.
at the same time, the director Damien Leone was actually filming and still doing his day job as a delivery driver at the same time. So
Really?
he was like making money from his job, and I'm guessing he's probably investing it to put it into more stuff into the film, which I
Yeah.
think that's pretty smart. And when that
Hmm.
movie got big, he used up all the money for like Terrifier 3, and then
Hmm.
we're going to be getting a fourth one, maybe the last
Okay.
one as well.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother did say to me, like, okay, if you're gonna like be working full time in the horror industry, you need to watch Terrifier. Oh, I don't know. I might give it a go. Maybe one isn't so bad, but two,
Yeah.
just I don't know. I've read the synopsis because I was like morbidly curious, and I was just like, no, 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 I don't think so.
I just can't. When I remember watching the first one, that like this scene where the chick's like upside down naked, and he had like the hacksaw.
Yeah, so I've seen a meme of this with a tree where someone was like, and I've also like heard about it. Someone told me, my brother, and so I gather what happens in that scene from this meme and what someone said. Are they like
Uh,
naked and then he like saws down the middle?
yeah,
Okay.
which was, I saw a meme. It says how to cut somebody, how to cut someone out of your life, and it's like a person with the scene of that.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I thought that was hilarious, but I can't wait for the fourth one because the third one was great. I watched that in theaters,
Hmm.
and it's really good to see one of the most hated horror films that came out doing really, 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 really big.
Was Terrifier a hated horror film when it came out?
Yeah, people hated it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but then there's other movies before the Terrifier movie as well. So there was The Knife Circle, which was a short film, and then
Okay.
there was All Hallows Eve, which is a short film you can find on YouTube.
These were created by the same director, Damien
Yes,
Lee. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
but the guy that played Art the Clown in The Ninth Circle and on All Hallows Eve, it was a different person.
Oh, they still feature the same character.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Right.
from what I've, because I do like sometimes I do like a little background story
Mhm.
on these things. He was using like Art the Clown for those two short films that he has the screen test to see where he can use that character in
Yeah.
like in a movie. But then he wanted someone taller and a little bit skinnier to be Art
Mm,
the Clown, and that's how David got
okay.
in.
Interesting. Yeah. He seems to be doing well with his like he's went on to do Screamboat Willie.
Ah, yeah, I saw that one.
And what else has he been in recently? He was in something else.
Stream.
Scream?
No, Stream. It's like
Oh,
a
Scream.
hotel survival game.
Okay. I've not seen that.
Yeah.
Like a game,
He's
not a
been.
movie.
It's a movie, but it's sort of like a survival game
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
He's doing so good, and Terrifier 4 will have a bit of a backstory of Art the Clown.
Mhm. Interesting.
So it'll be interesting. I always make this joke to my friends. I'm like, dude, you reckon like Pennywise and like Art the Clown are like related? And Captain Spaulding's the dad.
I was gonna say, what is making you say that? Just because they're all clowns? Are you like, oh, they're
Yeah.
all clowns?
Yeah, because like, like because maybe like Captain Spaulding knocked up like some spiritual woman, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the baby became a clown. And then
Was born a
yeah.
clown, not became a
Born a
clown. Maybe it
clown. Yeah.
came out with like a big red
Yeah.
nose and fluffy
Yeah.
hair.
But then like Pennywise being the older brother, you know, cross over and they're like, oh my god, it's Art the Clown. Where have
There's
you
no women
been? Oh
clowns in your story. Did you need a
yeah.
woman clown? Mama clown.
Do they
Where's
exist?
she? Oh, they must do. I love what like one of my whole like key aesthetic influences is clowns, and I love dressing with like subtle clown core outfits. And I do
Mm,
have so many, and I've snuck them into film sets as well. Like the latest feature I did was called Cleaver 3 about like a killer clown's well, this one big focus on his daughter, but Cleaver was like a killer clown, and
yeah.
yeah, I made sure that I had like subtle kind of clowniness on my outfit, like like red shoes or like I had like a dress with like polka dots on, and I
Yeah.
have like a 1970s kind of like juggler shirt with like little kind of polka dots on it, and so I was in one of the movies as like I was stabbed in the eyeballs by a killer from the 1970s. And they were like, I think I was like on my way to the shoot. I was on the drive and they were like, by the way, the film is set in the 1970s. Have you got any like 1970s aesthetic? And I was like, bitch, do I? Like that's like my whole like vintage vibe. And I'd already packed like a bunch of my vintage clothes. And so
Yeah.
I had that kind of juggler from the 70s kind of shirt anyway. I mean, you literally see me on screen for a split second. Um, but I was sent it a few days ago actually. And I was like, oh my goodness, who is that attractive corpse? Stabbed in the eyeballs with an amazing shirt from the 1970s.
I think I might have seen a photo of that. I think you've sent me a photo of that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. When I have like
Yeah,
these
you
like
said that. You said like
bulbous
I always want to get
eyeballs.
yeah. You were saying that like
Yeah,
you always wanted to get stabbed in the eyes with fucking whatever it was
probably.
in a
That
horror
that
film.
sounds that sounds like something I would say.
Yeah. But have you been watching like any new horror movies lately? Like have you been like trying to stay on top of the movies that's been coming out this year? Because
Yeah.
I kind of felt like the last 2 years has been really consistent with horror movies.
Yeah. This year we've had Sinners.
That was
Um,
good.
yeah, I loved Sinners. We've had Sinners, Final Destination Bloodlines,
Another good one.
28 years later.
That was
We've
okay.
got I really like that one.
I liked it too.
We've also got I Know What You Did Last Summer coming out soon.
That's already
Next
out here now.
Oh, is it out? I think it might be out here actually. I'm going to see it at the weekend.
Tell
So
me
that'll
how
be
it
good.
is because I'm hearing mixed reviews.
Okay.
There's one person that I follow. She's from Melbourne because she does like horror reviews and stuff and recaps and
Mhm.
all that stuff. And she does like spoiler free ones. And she did one on I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I
Uh-huh.
swear to God, because I know they brought back Jennifer Love Hewitt, and but they're trying to help out the new cast. They,
Okay.
I feel like they're copying what they did with Scream 5, how they're doing
So
a
how,
sequel requel thing.
yeah, is it a direct copy? Well, is it the same story or are they doing more of a like Scream one where they've kind of it's the same continuation kind of thing, like the same
Well,
universe?
it's a
Or
it's a sequel slash reboot because you got the original cast, two of the original cast, and you have the newer people that's in the movie.
are the original cast playing their original characters?
Yes.
Okay, right. Okay. I mean, they made many sequels to like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, no, I really, really know what you did last summer. Kind of like they make a
Oh
load of
yeah,
things.
yeah. But I think they were going off from like that timeline from the second one.
Okay, so maybe they've just retconned all of that other stuff that flopped.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I kind of feel like they're copying what they did like with Scream 5. But like Scream, I feel like the Scream franchise was like more the consistent one because it all staked in the same set. They all stay in the
Yeah.
same timeline than any
Yeah.
other horror genre. That's what I
Yeah.
love the franchise so much. But I kind of
Yeah.
feel like they're copying what they did with Scream 5. How Scream
Mm,
5, they had the new characters, and but then they had Nev Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox all coming back to
yeah.
help them survive this. That's what I kind of feel like that's what they're doing with this one here.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't really heard anything about it. I love the original I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think
Oh
it's just
yeah,
like a
same.
really good kind of simple
90s.
plot, like revenge kind of they all these stupid teenagers that make a bad decision and then they pay for it. Like that's what horror should be about.
I think it's one of the it's a fun movie, but it's like classic 90s, but very stupid teeny horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, like it had some really good kind of good scenes. Like there's one where Buffy, that whatever in it, Sarah Michelle Gellar is on stage accepting an award or something for like, and then her boyfriend is like up in the auditorium like watching, getting like stabbed to death, but she doesn't. I mean, that's it. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she sees it and is reacting, but people think she's performing,
Yeah.
acting or something. Yeah, I thought that was
That
really good.
and then I think she runs off into the alleyway, and
And
then there's
then
all these other
so
people.
close, yeah, so close to
Yeah.
being rescued, but then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love that movie. I feel like it didn't really need rebooting, but then I don't know,
It's a cash grab.
it's a cash grab. Yeah, might as well. I'll still go and
I
see.
really
I'll basically go and see any new horror film that comes
Yeah.
out.
Same. Like I watched 28 Years Later in theaters. Like I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought
Hmm.
like out of the three, I know there'll be the fourth one will be out next year. They've already
Yeah,
announced because it's
Bone
already
Temple.
yeah. Because I think they filmed that after 28 years
Okay.
later. Well, they might have filmed
Okay.
it all in one. Maybe they filmed it
Yeah.
all in once and then cut it into half. Maybe I don't know. But I really enjoyed it. It's just the ending, the way how it end. It was like, what the
So
fuck?
yeah, it's a weird one. And it's like yeah, it goes into it's a very British ending, I think. Because it alludes so that character is called Jimmy, and
Yeah,
him and his mates are all wearing they all have a very particular aesthetic with the hair and the chains and the jump tracksuit thing that they all have going on, which alludes to it like a British he was a children's TV presenter called Jimmy Savile, who then he went on to, well, he went on to become a paedophile and like really prolific. Um, and so I think that's what they were alluding to with that ending. particularly calling himself Sir Jimmy and all that sort of stuff. But I think that's such a British thing that, I mean, have you ever heard of this Jimmy Savile guy?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
I
I
think,
sort of did like a little bit of background thing on him, and then
okay.
yeah,
It seemed like a bold move to include something that would, I mean, so I think any British person watching that ending would have been like Jimmy Savile. Like that's a clear Jimmy Savile gang right there kind of thing. Um, but then I guess anybody who doesn't know that, anyone outside of Britain or whatever, who just isn't aware of who Jimmy Savile is, would just see it as a bit of a weird ending. So I don't know. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked the kind of complete tone shift. But I don't know. I can also see completely why people are divided by it for sure.
yeah, yeah. Um, I thought there was some scenes that was really cool, and what really impressed me the most, and me and a mate re we were talking about, we always talked about this when we used to work with each other. He was saying, "I goes, oh, dude, like apparently, like 28 years later, it was shot with 21 iPhones or something like that,
Mhm. Yeah.
and a drone and stuff like that." And I
Yeah, I
think they
mean,
were using some of the iPhones for like some of the scenes for the movies, and I'm pretty
mhm,
sure they used the iPhones because apparently 'cause I saw like the behind the scenes photos on like
mhm,
Google. So I think how they did it, they had like this big um this big thing that would carry all 21 iPhones at like a round
yeah,
circle. So
mhm,
I think for in the kill scenes, every time when a zombie gets killed, it does like a sort of like a 180 move.
yeah, when they
I'm
get
pretty
shot
sure
by
that
an
was
arrow or whatever. Yeah,
yeah, that looks actually really cool. I'm pretty sure
mhm,
that was all those kill scenes or something like that in the movie was like
mhm.
done by the iPhone.
Yeah, I think it was all shot on iPhone, I think.
Yeah,
I guess the original one has quite a grainy aesthetic, and so
yeah,
maybe they just wanted to kind of keep that vibe going. For me, it totally worked. I really really liked it. There were some moments, particularly when the boy and his dad were being chased back to the island. Like I was very by the alpha. Like I was very aware that like when they sort of escaped that I like hadn't breathed for like several minutes during that whole scene kind of thing. Like I was like
yeah,
my body was like full of tension. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I really liked the movie. I thought it was really good, really effective. I didn't really like 28, not months,
Weeks.
weeks later.
I like
No, I
that
kind of
one.
there were some memorable bits. Like I've kind of respected that Robbie Carlyle just abandoned his family. That was kind of cool. But
Oh, I was
I just
pissed at that.
two types of people.
Yeah, I was so. I was when I first watched that movie, and I would text message my man like, "Dude, I finally watched 28 weeks later, and like, I'm so pissed off with that guy ran off and left his family and grandparents behind. Man, what a dick
Nah,
move.
I was watching it like, yeah.
See ya.
No, I just found it a bit forgettable, the whole movie. Like as soon as the credits came up, I was just sort of like, just don't remember what happened. Um, but yeah. But and then I'm pissed off that we didn't get a 28 months later. I want the set. Like I don't want
Yeah,
like days, weeks, years. Like, oh come on, like complete the set, please. Like
I
it's
kind of
just really
feel
annoying.
like they should have went with 28 months later, then 28 years later. To be
Yeah, they
honest with
totally
you,
should.
but I think
Yeah.
28 years later was supposed to be released a couple of years ago.
Yeah, yeah. They also didn't wait 28 years later. They waited like 21, which again is annoying me. Um,
Why didn't they just wait for another 7 years?
I don't know. They should have just to appease me and my ridiculous OCD.
Yeah. What else have you seen apart from those movies that came out this year? Because there's been a lot. Like one of my favorite ones that I've watched this year so far was probably Bring Her Back.
Okay, I've watched Talk to Me,
Yeah.
but I haven't watched the new one. But someone said that they're set in the same universe but not related. Is that right?
Mm, yeah. Well, it's filmed by two Australian brothers, and it's I guess the same. it's sort of like, yeah, what you were saying, like it's in the same universe, so it could be like connected.
Okay. I
But
I
it's such a
found
disturbing movie. You should watch it.
well, I found the scene in Talk to Me, the scene in the bathroom or hospital where there was like a boy who was like smashing his face on the floor.
Yeah.
So disturbing that I still
Yeah.
like feel like was there is there things like that in the new one? Because I just hate anything like that.
I give you a little bit of a spoiler alert. There's a scene where the boy picks up a kitchen knife and puts into his mouth and starts jamming it in.
Yeah, yeah,
us,
that
us
sounds
Australians, us Australians, there's no rules.
well, I'm actually oh, you know one movie that I'm really looking forward to is Weapons. And that in the trailer has a similar thing where there's a woman stabbing herself in the face with a fork over and over again. It's a really quick, like very, very quick cutaway. But
Yeah,
I've yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. I love anything to do with creepy children, to be honest, because I've got three myself, and like living with these kids is like living in a constant horror movie. Like
yeah.
just all the time, they'll just want like yeah, they all kind of constantly just keep my nervous system running regularly by just always like I'll just be like, right, go and brush your teeth, and then they'll like disappear and there'll be silence, and I'll be like, Erin, and like open the door, and she just stood there like lunging at me or whatever. So yeah, it is.
I
This is what
love that.
happens when you have children and you love horror and you sort of let them
Blend that
watch it
in.
way too young, then they become like little embodiments of horror figures. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
so Weapons, I'm very excited for Weapons.
I'm very excited for the new Conjuring movie,
Oh, okay. When's that one? What's that one called?
The Last Rites. It's going to be the final one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I love anything with jump scares. And The Conjuring, oh my God, yeah, like really up there with jump scares. That and Insidious were two that
oh yeah.
I went to see, was it Insidious that I went to see with my brother? And I ended up trying to sit on his knee, and he was just like, fuck off. Like, will you get a fucking grip? Like, oh,
The
and I went to
first
see
two kind of
Smile,
freaked me out.
the Conjuring movies, first two Conjurings.
No, the Insidious, the first two
Oh,
were
Insidious,
good, and then
yeah.
I kind of just went sort of downhill.
Yeah, the Red Door was a bit rubbish.
The
And
Last
then
Key.
the last, I don't even know whether I've seen that. I think the Red Door
I
was
think it
the
was the
latest one.
last one.
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah,
And there's the Last
one.
Key was the final one.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I've seen that. One really freaked me out. Like, hello, it got kind of silly at the end with the demon. Like, I don't know. I thought that kind of lost its effectiveness, but yeah, the sequence where he goes back into his own house, but in his brain. And there's
Yeah,
just creepy shit everywhere. Oh, yeah, really terrifying. Yeah, really effective movie. And The Conjuring, there's the bit with the where they're playing like clap hide and seek, is that right? Where they
yeah,
like, yeah, that was really scary. And then
yeah,
there's a bit when they're like, there's a like a witch on a wardrobe that just lunges at them. Oh my God, yeah, just terrifying, really
yeah.
scary. But I'm very
Like,
susceptible to jump scares.
and I chatted about this on when I had Trent Teakin from Beasto Blanco on, and
Hmm.
I was asking him like, how real is that? The Conjuring files. Like,
Hmm.
how real was it? Like, obviously we probably wouldn't know because
Hmm.
um obviously the couple passed away. Who knows where the actual files and tapes are? I guess it hasn't
Yeah.
really been proven that it was based on true events, or maybe they just found like old files and maybe old footage, maybe. But how real do you reckon that was?
I mean, I certainly believe that there was a couple who went round and did that type of work. I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know. I know it's awful, but my mind always goes to that these people who do that kind of work are either big time scammers or like
yeah,
maybe a little bit mentally ill who really believe
yeah,
in it. I don't know. I guess I just hope that I don't know. Both of those options are quite awful, aren't they? I was going to say I just hope that they're like deeply mentally ill people, but like that's even worse. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I personally don't believe in any kind of supernatural thing. When I was a teenager, I started seeing what I thought were ghosts. And it turned out to be a genetic condition where when my family are in REM sleep, we don't produce the hormones that other people do that paralyzes us. So my family, like we wake up and our brain is still physically like in dream sleep, but our eyes, like maybe like half of our brain is asleep, half of it is awake. So when I sit
Yeah.
up and open my eyes, like I can see like all these like creepy things in the room. And the first like 3 or 4 times that happened, I was convinced that my house was haunted. And I saw these like a little boy who was like hovering at the edge of my bed, and like a man who was like walking across the room and then had a fit and fell on the floor. And I was like thinking like, right, this is it. I guess I'm like haunted now. Until I spoke to my family, and my uncle like has a really exactly the same thing where he'd like wake up and like see like house spiders everywhere, or like think there was like a tornado ripping the house apart. And yeah, and then basically most of my family have this sort of genetic condition. Now I no longer believe in ghosts. I just believe in science.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very hard to believe, unless if you actually um, have that experience. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But to go
Yeah.
like what you were saying about the couple, was it Ed and Lorraine Warren?
Yeah.
Yeah, Trent said the same things. Like, there could be a scam. We don't know. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
It's it,
yeah.
it
Who
is
knows?
hard to know, but they were a real couple though,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
did
But
did that kind of thing.
they made
Same with
millions off it.
well, yeah. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
Scam
Exactly right.
Rooney.
Yeah. So I got like two more questions because like we're almost at the hour and
Sure,
30-minute mark, which has
sure.
been pretty cool. But what's your views on horror remakes? Yes or no?
Yes, I would say big yes. If there's a need, which sometimes there is a need, like bringing a bit of fresh life into it. If there was some sort of I don't know, plot holes or whatever in the originals, I cannot fucking stand it when they remake horrors because the original had a sad ending. That pisses me off more than anything else in the entire universe. The Wicker
Mm,
Man remake was a fucking travesty. Um, Nicolas Cage needs to fuck off. Like everything that is wrong with like Hollywood, it's like no, the original Wicker Man is the most perfect movie ever made.
yeah.
Like no notes. Like I love it so much. And then they just made this travesty with Nicolas bloody Cage of all people. And like ruined the ending, which is what makes the first movie so powerful. And I
Yeah.
also have another big gripe about in the similar vein. So one of my favorite horror movies of the last few years was a like a European movie called Speak No Evil. Have you heard of this?
I've
Came
heard
out, I
of
think,
it,
in
and I've
2023.
yeah.
Mhm.
Apparently they really fucked up the ending.
So it's I love this movie so much. As someone who's quite socially awkward, this movie is fantastic because and then I'm talking about the original, not the remake. Because it's all about how it's like about two couples, and it's all about how you sort of allow tiny transgressions against yourself, and you blurs the boundaries, and before you know it you end up in like the most fucked up situation of kind of your own making,
Yeah.
because you've let people push your boundaries too much. And for me, as like a big time people pleaser, that is quite a scary thought. um and then it ends in the most like harrowing way,
Horrific. Yeah.
like
I did see that.
horrific. Like literally, I was just sat there like, I don't know what to do with myself. Like, do I cry? Do I like, I don't know. But I loved it. It made such a big impression on me. Um, but then again, and it only came out in 2023. But then
Mm,
Hollywood were like, this needs remaking because so it's an English language film, but the two couples, I think one's Danish and one's Swedish or something. I don't know. Like, so they when they're in their own respective couple bubbles, they speak their own languages, but then they speak English together. So there's a little bit of foreign language in there, but big fucking deal. But so I think that's why Hollywood remade it anyway. So they remade it with James McAvoy,
yeah,
and they
I've heard it. Yeah,
completely ruined the ending. They made it a happy ending of like everybody gets away, yay, the children are safe and the couple remain intact,
yeah,
and bad guy gets, and it's like, oh fuck off. Like you just completely ruined everything that was so amazing about the original.
yeah,
Um yeah. So yes, to answer your question, remakes, I'm very down for remakes as long as there's a need. And the
yeah.
need might be that 20 years has passed, so it needs a bit of refreshing, but not like 2 years have passed and we don't want any of that foreign language stuff, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard stories about the original and I heard like how
Mhm.
disturbing it was, especially the ending with the kid and like how they
Mm.
beat the crap out of the mom and dad and
They,
fucking
well, I don't want to spoil it. You should definitely watch it and don't watch the remake. It's really disturbing all the way
yeah,
through. It's not just
yeah,
the ending. The ending
yeah.
is the perfect ending because it fits it so well. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it 100%.
Yeah, and then just like how like they just drive away with a fucking child with like their tongue
Yeah.
missing, like, and
And
you don't know what's
yeah,
gonna happen. But like that was just like horrific as shit. I just typed in "Speak No Evil" ending on YouTube so I could just watch that to see what all the fuss was about. And I'm like, ah man.
it's really fucked up. But all the way through the film, it's really fucked up. Like really, like so it just gets more and more disturbing. In like that sort of analogy of like if you put a frog in a pot
Yeah.
and then boil it gently, it won't ever leave the pot. It'll just sort of that's sort of what it's like. That movie. It's like before you know it, your boundaries have just been eroded, and then before and then basically at the end of the movie, the couple who are being targeted say, "Why are you doing this?" And the other couple just say, "Because you let us." And it's so powerful because they did. They just let them slowly erode and get away with shit. And
Mm.
like, oh, it's so powerful. I absolutely love that movie.
I was
Didn't need a
um I was like, I'm pretty sure that's on Shutter or something like that. But I was reading the comments from like the reboot, and a lot of a lot of people were saying like it started off okay until they ruined the ending.
Yeah, no, it just wasn't necessary
Yeah,
ultimately.
but that's
And I love
Hollywood for
James
you.
McAvoy. Like I really do like him. I love it. Like in Split, he's amazing. Like
Oh, Split
I
was amazing.
yeah, like I definitely don't have a James McAvoy avoidance like I do with Nicolas Cage. Although Con Air is amazing. Con Air is like the only movie that he's
Hey,
good in.
Nicolas Cage
Did-
in Longlegs was good.
So I was going to say Longlegs. I found his prosthetic nose very distracting.
Yeah,
On saying
yeah.
that though, I remember watching Longlegs and being like, "Ugh, this isn't scary at all." And then it was that shot where like the camera cuts him off here and the camera's just sort of focusing on his chest and then he just like drops down and I literally remember thinking like this film isn't fucking scary and then he just drops down. I literally jumped out of my seat. So it is a good movie, it's effective, but I just found his nose very distracting.
But
Like I don't know.
like his character in that movie, he plays it so well for being the weirdo that he is. But
Yeah.
I when I first watched that movie, man, I actually loved it. A lot of people said, "Oh my god, it was so long, it was boring." But like, don't be like those. Watch the full thing because it builds up
Yeah.
halfway through, and it gets split up in
Mhm.
6 chapters or something like that. To me, that
Mhm.
was like their take of Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, with the whole female FBI agent and they had like a connection and yeah, no, I did like it. I just wonder like if it wasn't Nicolas Cage, would it have been better? I don't
Nah,
know.
Nicolas Cage was so good for that role. I think the scene when it
Yeah,
was like in the like chained up in the question room in the police, and then like he was like
head
asking the
smash.
chick was like, yeah, the officer was like asking him questions, and then
Mhm.
yeah, he's like smashing his fucking head onto the tables like, oh hell Satan, and then he's just like whoosh.
I
That
feel
was like
like
the
this
most
is becoming
unexpected
like,
scene.
yeah, yeah, it was because he also died halfway through the movie, which I was like, well, where are they going to go from here now then? And
Yeah,
obviously
but
they
then
took
they
him
used
to,
him as more of like a flashback too.
yeah. Well, and you find out even more disturbingly that he's been manipulating her mother the whole way through. It's like even worse. But I feel like I've watched a lot of movies recently with head smashes. Um, the did you have you watched Cam about a girl who's like a
uh
cam girl? So that has a
no.
very similar, like very similar, just head smash over and over again until her nose goes all like, ugh, just I don't know, broken and nasty.
Yeah.
Similar to that, and then also the Talk to Me has a similar head smashing boy, the little brother. Oh, I don't know. I just hate all that.
Yeah.
Like, just can we all stop smashing our heads against things, please, please, for
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah, concerts. But yeah, another great movie as well that we you added to your list was Final Destination. Final Destination Bloodlines was amazing.
Hmm.
I actually did not know that Final Five was a prequel until you watch the ending. How they went on the plane, and then you see the scene when the guy gets um, chucked out of the plane for freaking out or
Hmm.
something like that. I actually did not know that was a prequel because
So
now if you
I have
watch it,
watched.
so if you watch five and then one, you will see it connect together.
Yeah, so I've watched one to four and then Bloodlines, and I missed five. I didn't know there was a fifth one that I hadn't seen. I thought I'd watched them all. And my brother said the same thing. He was like, "Oh my God, did you notice that?" And I was like, "I don't think so. Is it what is the disaster in five?
In
Is it
five. So it was
yeah.
just like the beginning of like the whole thing of like
But
how the
you know, like
spirits are.
one has a plane, two has a log truck pileup, three has a roller coaster, four is like a motorcycle rally. It's not what is it
Oh
like
yeah,
a
that was a
car,
NASCAR, and I think
car? Yeah.
five
So what's
from
five?
what shit, I can't
I don't know.
remember.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's why I didn't realize that I thought I'd watched them all. And then but yeah, and then people are sort of saying, "Oh, it all links together." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know how it does." I need to rewatch it.
Um,
I watched so I went to watch Bloodlines with my mum and she'd never watched any of them. And I was like, no, no, trust me, like it'll be fine. Like the premise is really amazing. And they're not going to
yeah.
bring back any new characters because spoiler, they're all dead. um and but she absolutely loved it. And then me and her watched three together, which I think three is the best of the set anyway.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So, the opening scene of Final Five is when they got stuck in the bridge.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if I can pop it up. Oh,
How have you spelt my name up there? That's your chain. Spelt all wrong.
did
You better
I?
be able to edit that afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all good.
Welcome, Azure Chain.
um. Yeah. Where are we? Share. So this is the opening scene of number five. I can't play the audio because then I'll get copyright on that. But this is the main the opening
Or he has his
scene
little
of
freak
five.
out and pulls people out of the accident.
Yeah,
Oh, I might watch this movie tonight, actually.
yeah.
I
There's
feel
some
like
really
I'm
cool
always like,
death.
no, Go
There
on.
was some really cool kill scenes on this. I thought that was pretty cool.
There always is with Final Destination. They're really inventive with their kills. I love the bloodlines, the whole thing with the MRI
Oh
scanner. That
yes,
was really good.
I think that was everyone's favorite kill scene.
So
Um,
good.
and did you see the behind the
And
scene footage of that?
no, I've not seen any of it. Is it good?
Yeah, I'll send you a clip or something like that later on. They did
No.
like a behind the scene footage and how it was done.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, no, it was
yeah,
really good. My stepdad works in MRI as well, so as
does
soon
he
as
freak
that's
it?
when well, so he had like somebody, obviously they're highly magnetic, and he
Yeah,
had someone bring in like a, those oxygen tanks that are like the size of
yeah.
a torso. Somebody just walked into the chamber holding one of them, and it immediately and caused, literally, like, I think my stepmother said it was like £1 million worth of damage, like the
Oh
most
shit.
surgery you could possibly do in an MRI. Oh damn. Wait, what
So
are those
like this,
swinging things? Are
yeah.
they
So
what?
that's from like holding the bridge together. But like, see, stuff like this, like
Amazing.
Final Destination, is sort of like real to me. Like these things can
Mhm.
happen in real life.
Absolutely. Have you ever had a Final Destination moment?
Um, no, no, but I've read
Not
stories
that you
about
know
it.
of.
um, someone, no, but like someone sent me an article saying there are here's some of the um top injuries that's happening in real life that's based on Final Destinations, and yeah,
Oh,
like it's
damn.
actually real and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
no, of
But
course.
quite crazy.
I'm
The
definitely gonna
bridge
watch this movie
collapse.
tonight.
It's this one. Yeah, I think you'll dig it. It
Yeah,
loads.
I'm pretty easy for
But
Final Destination movies, to be
yeah,
honest. Like they're all my jam. They're just quite easy to watch as well. Like they doesn't require any brain power, and yeah, they're good fun.
yeah, and I really love how in six how they brought back Tony Todd for his final moments.
I know, I know. I guess they didn't know. Well, nobody knew that that was going to be his final film, right? Or was he? I don't know. I don't know anything.
He was really ill.
Was he? Right,
You could
okay. It
tell.
wasn't a
You could.
sudden
Yeah,
death then.
he had stomach cancer,
Oh, did he?
I
Right, okay. So
believe.
they knew it was
Like
going
he'd
to be his
lost so
final.
much weight. Yeah. So, um, apparently, there's I think there was a part in the movie when he was giving him like life,
Hmm.
um, like a life quote thing, whatever it was.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, that wasn't scripted.
Okay. Because his final line is very poignant, right? Like it's sort of almost as if yeah, that he knew he was going, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So the director was saying like, um, you be you, and then just give him your final
mhm.
message to the
Yeah.
fans, and then you see in that movie that he was
Yeah.
playing him, and you could tell that was going
Yeah.
to be his final
Oh,
days being alive, which is a shame
yeah.
that obviously he passed away, but then never really got to see the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. No, of course. But it was very poignant. I feel like, yeah, I'm glad that he had that sort of final little appearance. But yeah.
I thought the
Such a
opening scene,
iconic guy. Hmm.
I thought the opening scene was good though.
It was really, really good. I love it. Yeah, I thought it was really effective. To be honest, I feel like every Final Destination opening scene is really effective.
Mm.
Um, it's just a really good formula. Yeah, yeah, I feel like I'd watch any Final Destination movie, like no matter what the scenario is. Um, yeah, I feel like
I
it's all
I
good.
kind of feel like they'll be opening up another one soon. I think they already announced there will be another one.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm sure. I mean, literally, it's a template that works. So
Mm,
might as well,
yeah.
keep
That's
going.
probably going to be like one of the another consistent timeline now, because now you got Scream. Oh, not you got Scream. That's like the most consistent timeline. Then you'll have
Hmm.
like Final Destination.
Hmm.
It's, I guess, sort of the same thing as well.
Hmm.
But that was great, and Sinners was good too. I really enjoyed that movie. A
Yeah.
lot of people. I know I follow someone on Instagram. She's like, I can't wait to see this horror film, Sinners. It's going to be scary. And then she's like, I had to walk out mid uh mid viewing because it was
She walked.
boring.
Oh man,
And
it's
then
a
so
slow burn.
I replied on her friggin' story. I'm like, well, maybe you're not a real horror fan, then, you know.
I mean, it doesn't present like a typical horror movie at all. It's very much not until, well, maybe like the second half is, but the first half is not. There's a lot of setting up exposition and character development and making you really feel things for these people who then go on
Yeah,
to kind of, yeah, don't have the best time, basically. But no, I loved it. And there's that one scene in the middle of the movie, um, where they kind of like blend time lines, not timelines, but time genres, music
yeah,
genres. Like they sort of bring in the past and the future. So effective. Like,
yeah,
oh, I had goosebumps when I was watching that scene. So, so good, so memorable. Um, and the obviously the use of music in it is gorgeous. Like I love blues music anyway, and Irish folk. Yeah, just so effective.
yeah.
I loved it, but it's definitely not like if you're like a kind of slasher horror fan, maybe isn't the best kind of like if you go into that thinking like, oh yeah, classic horror movie, you might be disappointed. But yeah, no, I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Nah, I think the build up was worth the wait. Because
Definitely. Yeah.
that's how I kind of feel like all horror movies are sort of meant to be like that. Um, but
Yeah,
then
I think it was
you
definitely
get those
slow.
casual horror fans. Yeah, it is. But then you get those casual horror fans expecting it to be like this fucking jump scare
Hmm.
shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
No, it's
no.
just different. But I thought it was really unique, really not like anything I'd seen before. I can see that there's elements of like so oh, Dawn of the Dead. What's it called? It's got the word dawn in the title and it's got vampires and it's got
30 Days of Nights.
no, it's got George
No,
Clooney and
Dusk Till Dawn.
yeah, Dusk Till Dawn. There you go. Yeah,
That's another classic movie.
yeah, no, it's amazing. I love it. And yeah, Salma Hayek, so gorgeous in it. Um, but I've seen it compared to that, and I kind of get what people are going for. I think it is. It's completely new, its own thing. Sinners. It's just yeah, and yeah, the music was so beautiful. I would yeah, looking forward to watching it again.
It's kind of like, I guess it's sort of like the legendary story of like the legend like of a guitarist that went to the crossroads to sell
Hmm.
his soul to the devil so he can play, you
Yeah,
know, music.
yeah.
I kind of felt like it was sort of like that a little bit,
Mhm.
but
Didn't they say
I
that Jimi
enjoyed it.
Hendrix did that? Like sold his soul to the devil or something for to be able to play guitar well.
Play.
I don't know.
Nah, I reckon I think that's all bullshit. I think he was just naturally gifted.
Hot take from
Yeah,
Adam.
yeah, yeah. So let's finish off with top 5 horror films.
Oh, you didn't tell me I needed to prepare for this.
I don't care. I just threw a curveball, lady.
Oh no, I can't do with curveballs. Okay, what you want me to do my top five or your top five?
Ah, you can go. Mine always changes, so there you go.
Okay, okay. Can I do them in no particular order to
Ah,
lift
I
this
don't care.
stress, this
You could do.
burden that
You
you've
could
just
do.
thrown at me?
You can do middle, best, and shit if you want.
Okay, let me think. Okay, well, Wicker Man is my solid number one, I'm gonna say. Number two is probably The Shining because The Shining is one of those movies that I could just have on in the background any day. Like I just love it and never get bored of it. I just think it's like visually just gorgeous. Three, I'm gonna say Speak No Evil the original. Because yeah, we've already talked about that. Oh my goodness, 4 and 5. Oh, four's got to be Jaws. I do love Jaws.
Yeah.
Um, Again, it's one that I could just have on all the time, and I'd never get bored of it. Five. Oh my God. Don't know. Can I do my top four?
No.
As soon as we stop recording. Oh my God, right. What have I watched recently that I liked or anything? Why is my mind completely like I have no more? Oh, Gremlins. There we go. I love Gremlins.
Yeah. The Christmas
Gremlins.
movie.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Gremlins
definitely a
is
Christmas movie.
solid, solid top five. Gremlins one and two. Two deserves a mention. It's because there's that one gremlin that has massive tits and like oh just
Yeah.
everything. Electricity gremlin, bat gremlin, clever gremlin who's low key a little
Yeah.
bit sexy.
Yeah. Yeah. That was like probably like one of the first I guess it wasn't really horror ish, but like it was sort of like a family movie, but it was like one of those first family PG-13 horror films that was like used
Hmm.
mechanicals. And that
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
real, you know.
It's so real.
I heard that they're gonna be doing another one, and I think they're gonna try and keep it to like where they did one of the originals.
Okay. When you said, how do you feel about remakes? I feel like Gremlins is like the perfect movie. I just don't want them to mess with that, but we'll
Yeah, I know.
see, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
true. Well, I'll
We'll
give you
see.
my top five just
Yeah.
because like I like sharing my movies, even though they change every time because I watch so many
Uh-huh.
movies almost every day now. But like I'll pick Terrifier 2. The reason why I picked that one because I love the effects in that and it's the only movie that I could play in the background when I'll do meal prep.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Adam? Oh my God. I've seen
Yeah,
little screenshots of that movie and like, oh my God, just
yeah.
stress.
Like, it's like, you know, yeah. But then I'll put Rob Zombie's Halloween because I really love
Hmm.
what he done with the movie. I like the
Hmm.
backstory of Michael Myers. I like,
Hmm.
you know, how he was a kid and then he went to county jail. He escaped
Yeah.
and then went back to his house, picked up the mask that was like under
Hmm.
the ground for 30 years. And then just that
Hmm.
whole movie, like his mask just aged so well. And that's
Yeah.
what I love that like
Hmm.
Rob Zombie did. And then I
Hmm.
love the fact that he used Daniel Harris from Halloween 4 and 5 um,
Okay.
in his movies, playing I think it was I can't remember the name, but anyway, yeah, Rob Zombie's one Halloween remake was good. I really enjoyed. I have to throw in Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Hmm.
um,
Classic.
the reboot.
Hmm.
I thought that was really good. I think it was perfectly done. It was sort of like
Hmm.
frame by frame a little bit, but then
Yeah.
the scene where the girl pulls out the gun between the legs and shoots herself out of it, like shoots herself in the mouth with it.
Uh-huh.
Then with the original was like the crazy guy, right?
I feel like I watched them both when I was a teenager. Well, no. Well, I would have watched the original as a teenager. I don't know how old I
Mm,
was when the remake came out. I have seen it. Maybe I was
2001, I think.
oh, okay. Can't do maths, but I think I was still a teenager then.
Yeah, I think I would have been at least 15 when that came out.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I watched them both kind of around the same sort of time.
I thought that was a
Um,
good movie. And the
mhm.
ending was very similar, but I liked with the reboot how he hacks his arm off
Yeah, I think I need
and
to
then she
rewatch
runs
them.
away.
Hmm.
And I thought that
Yeah.
was pretty cool. Number four, I'll probably go with House of a Thousand Corpse.
Hmm.
It's funny. it's just it's just a fucking funny movie, and I don't really care what anyone says. I really enjoy that movie. Just like um, Rob Zombie's wife, like Sherry Moon Zombie, was really good in that film,
Mhm.
and you
Yeah.
know Captain Spaulding and everyone else. They're just I'm really
Yeah.
the iconic characters now. The number five, I'll probably go with. That's it. Now that's hard.
See?
I
See what
know because
you
like
had to put
you
me
kind of
through.
pick. Um, I'll probably
Are
go
you
with something a little
looking
bit.
across for inspiration?
I,
You've
I
already
will probably
covered.
go for. I'll go with something a little bit more recent ish. I'll go with the movie Ready or Not. That's a good horror movie, but it's comedy horror.
Is that the one where she's about to get married?
Yeah.
And
And then they played this game, and then apparently
yeah,
there's like a evil spirit thing
there's a
that's like cursing
curse.
the family. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
have
thought that
watched
was
that.
a
I did like that. Yeah. Um, I wasn't sure. So okay, are we allowed to spoil? Because like the ending is basically that the curse is real. Like that it really is a thing. Whereas I think we're sort of led to believe the whole way through that the family are being over suspicious and maybe they're just a bit evil and enjoying it, and and they also are scared of this curse. But then at the end,
yeah.
the sort of twist, I guess, is that I know the curse actually is real, and they pop open or
Yeah.
whatever. They just
Yeah, they just explode. So
yeah.
the it's sort of like a hide and seek game, but
Mhm.
then every member in the family had to try and kill her before dawn.
Yeah, yeah,
And obviously they
yeah,
caught her, but then she managed to escape or something like that. And then the sun was coming up, and
hmm
then the evil spirit reversed and then kills the entire family and stuff like that.
yeah,
The second
yeah.
one's coming out soon. Apparently, it's already finished that wrapping, so I can't
Okay,
wait for that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, I did like it. That was one that I watched and I did remember, which is good because sometimes the credits come up and I'm just like, leave my brain, please. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, I did
but
like that one.
it's also one of those movies that like you can just cruise through quickly
Mm.
because it only
Yeah.
went for like an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do like it when you see something that's like got like a 70-minute runtime. I'm like, yes, come
Yeah,
on.
but then it just but then it cruises along. But then I could have went with the Invisible Man, the reboot of Invisible Man. I
Mm.
thought that was really good. Um, Half of that movie was filmed in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the
Interesting.
opening scene, um, that was filmed in Australia, and that was filmed in a place in the south coast. From what I remember, it's in a holiday house.
Hmm. Okay.
They, me and a mate drove past there. I'm like, oh look, there's a fucking house from that movie that we watched like a while ago.
It's the girl from Handmaid's Tale, right?
I think so. I'd never heard of her until I started watching that movie, but I thought
Yeah.
that was really good. Even the new Alien movie, Romulus.
Romulus. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
liked
was
it.
good too.
I it's a bit like I mean they've literally just kind of spliced together all the fan favorite bits from all the others and just been like,
Yeah, that's what I
hey,
said to him, mate.
remember when you really liked this bit in Alien 7? Like, well, yeah. But like, I don't know. I can't criticize because I did like it. I was like, oh my God, there's a baby hybrid. I love this
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And she gave birth to the baby. It's like in 28 Years Later, where that chick fucking gave birth to the baby.
the it's the opposite of that because she was a monster who gave birth to a normal baby. This was a
Yeah,
normal mother who gave birth to whatever that was.
but they're similar. But like,
We love a birth scene in horror.
yeah,
Full stop.
yeah, of course, you get more ratings. But yeah, even like the Alien movies was good. But if you go back to the timeline, have
Mhm.
you seen the timeline to it? It's insanely big because you got Prometheus,
Prometheus. Yeah.
then Covenant, and then Aliens, and then the first Alien movie, and
Mhm.
then Alien Romulus, and I think it's Alien 2, 3.
Ah, so
And then I think
Romulus.
it is in
Yeah,
between 1 and 2.
right. Okay.
And then I think
Yeah.
after Resurrection, I think it's no, I think in between Alien 3 and Resurrection, I think it's the first Predator movie.
I was gonna right, because then there's Alien versus Predator as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Um,
I think that's in the prequel area.
right. Okay.
I could
Yeah,
be
I used
wrong,
to
but
love
like,
playing Alien versus Predator on PS1. It was my
yeah.
favorite game of all time. So good. What did you play as? Because you could play as
Uh,
either the humans, the predators, or the aliens.
I played as a human, and I still remember this when the game load. It says this game was preferred to play in a dark room or something like with the lights off.
Like, nope, I cannot
Yeah,
cope with shit like that.
yeah,
I'm gonna
same. Like
play
I
it in the
still,
lightest room imaginable with all my snacks around me.
yeah, I still play horror games as well
Hmm.
on Xbox and stuff like that. Like there's been like a lot of Resident Evil
Hmm.
rebooting for Xbox One. At the moment, I've kind of been playing like the new World War Z. That was part of the
Okay,
movie. You know that,
okay.
and even like this is like it's kind of feel like now like horror is from like the big screens and small screens into your living room into a game console
Mhm.
now. It's kind of crazy
Yeah,
how this
yeah.
genre can expand to everything now. It's crazy.
Although we've always had that, right? With Silent Hill and Resident Evil. I don't know. I feel like we've always had. Well, I guess they came along on PS1. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. No, so we've not always had them, but
Yeah. Well, Asha, thank you very much. We almost hit the 2 hour mark. So this is like almost like the longest episode I've done. I think the longest one I've done was an hour and 50. So I think this is the longest one here.
well, we need to cut out all of our waffling and just get keeping the solid bits because like
Uh
waffle
nah,
so much in this.
who cares? Like we're going Joe Rogan time and people are gonna get bored. So it's all good.
Oh. Okay, well,
No,
thanks for
but
having me on.
no, anytime. Like I said, this is going to be fun, and like what we were saying on Instagram, like I know I like to keep this sort of professional, but then also like a little hangout session.
Yeah, nice. No,
And
I love
how
it.
it's in
Thank
that's
you.
how that's how interviewers should be.
Yeah.
But
No, I had
they're getting paid to do their jobs, and I'm not. So there you go.
nice. Yeah. No, I had such a super chill time up until you threw the top five at me that I would have prepared for if you'd have given me notice. Instead, I just
Well, I
panicked
have to
and
throw
blurted out some
curveballs.
stuff.
Were you surprised that I picked Terrifier too? Then I said it was actually good background.
Yes, that was pretty fucked up. I'm still judging you on that. Bloody
What?
meal prep. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to learn like the proper techniques and how to cut like
I'm
the vegetable.
a lifelong vegetarian, please.
You know, what's the perfect way to cut up a chicken? Like,
I thought you were going to say cut up a chick. Head
yeah,
open.
that.
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they can find you on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and I know you got like what 3 different accounts because you got your personal, you got your photography, and then you also do food photography as well.
Yes, yeah. That I've yeah low-key abandoned my food photography recently in favor of favor of horror stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah, so yeah, my personal account is octopus_mammy on Instagram, and then my photography one is Asher Chan Photography. So
too
yeah,
easy. I'll put that all in the description area so people can like check you out and ask weird questions, I guess. But yeah, thank you for coming
I
on.
welcome any weird questions.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe and don't forget to follow her on all social medias. Until next time, peace out.